you know, trans kids, this is it right here. That's the coach. Trans kids belong. They had a conversation together. They walked up to each other. They had the talk. And by the way, just so you know, we did not know this. I Googled to see which side Cheryl Reeve is on. She's actually lesbian. Nothing wrong with that. But they're having a conversation here to the left. That's Sophie and her talking. Then the post-game interview, she's being interviewed, the coach, and the question is asked. And here's what the coach had to say of the opposing team. If you can go to what the coach had to say of the opposing team in the post-game interview.
Buddy, stop what you're doing and listen closely, because the landscape of women's basketball has been thrown into complete chaos. We are witnessing one of the most explosive, controversial, and emotionally charged standoffs the WNBA has ever faced. Away from the cameras and packed arenas, Caitlin Clark has reportedly reached her breaking point. For weeks, rumors have swirled about rising tension, physical play, and growing frustration surrounding the Indiana Fever. But few expected what allegedly unfolded behind closed doors. Reports circulating online claim Clark has finally broken her silence, following a highly controversial situation involving WNBA coaches and the Trans Kids Belong protest shirts. Attention reportedly shifted towards Sophie Cunningham. According to the claims, that decision triggered an even bigger reaction. The one thing critics allegedly underestimated was Clark's loyalty to her teammate. Stay with us until the end, because we're breaking down the reported legal dispute, the claims surrounding Clark's response to the coaching staff, and why this controversy has sparked intense debate across the league. Before we get into it, hit subscribe, leave a like, and let's examine how this story unfolded. To understand where this controversy began, we have to look back at what happened in Seattle. The atmosphere was already tense. Several coaches and teams publicly supported the Trans Kids Belong shirts, turning an ordinary basketball event into a much broader public discussion. According to those involved in the debate, the issue quickly grew beyond clothing and became a larger conversation about influence, authority, and player expectations.
More than anything, educate, and there are some things that, you know, we have in common and maybe some things you differ on, just like any issues. And I think it's how you handle things. And so...
You can pause it right there. I want you to now watch what Caitlin Clark's
nice
coach had to say when she was questioned. This is Caitlin Clark's coach. Okay, go for it.
Your stance on men or athletes who test as biological male participating in women's sports? What's your personal stance?
Watch your answer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would say that I'm educated enough from a scientific standpoint. I don't ever believe that exclusion is an answer. I just don't.
No, but wait a minute. You got to keep playing it. Is this the only clip we have? Oh, okay.
I think that's it.
Because she says, I used to play with men when I was a kid. I always played with men when I was a kid. And she answers the question like, you know, I'm not a scientist. I'm not this. I'm not that. And then the game's being played yesterday. Sophie Cunningham gets hit in the face by an elbow that pretty much almost like massive foul. They called the foul on her. I don't even know if you can even play this clip or not. If you can.
According to alleged insider sources, Sophie Cunningham became the center of controversy after reportedly refusing to give in to pressure from opposing coaching staffs. Those claims suggest she was increasingly isolated, with critics accusing rival coaches of targeting her throughout games. Supporters point to heated sideline exchanges, disputed officiating, and constant pressure whenever she touched the basketball. They believe the goal was to wear her down, damage her confidence, and make her an example. Meanwhile, many felt league officials stayed silent as the situation intensified. In their view, Cunningham was treated as an easy target. What many allegedly overlooked, however, was her close bond with Caitlin Clark, one of the league's biggest stars. Supporters argued that targeting Cunningham would inevitably draw Clark into the controversy. The reported breaking point came after another physical, emotionally charged game. Following claims of repeated harassment from the opposing bench, the Indiana Fever returned to the locker room under heavy tension. According to those reports, Cunningham, normally known for embracing tough moments, appeared visibly frustrated by the atmosphere. Clark had reportedly stayed quiet for weeks, choosing to ignore the criticism and focus on basketball. But seeing her teammate under growing pressure was, according to the claims, the final straw. Witnesses alleged the locker room fell completely silent as Clark stood up. Rather than quietly addressing the situation, she reportedly confronted team leadership and league representatives, expressing her frustration. with visible emotion and anger.
All the problems that we have in our society, we have to still play this trans kids belong. And listen, I pray for those people. I pray for those people that are confused. My heart goes out to them. I literally pray all the time. Like, let them figure it out. Talk to somebody that's gonna do it instead of them patting you on the back and saying, you know what? Take your breast off or chop your penis off. And the majority of those people have freaking depression and they wind up killing themselves. Or if not, they wind up shooting up places and they call us transphobic. Give me a freaking break. Shut down the WNBA. Where's the money coming from? Name me a company that loses $40 million a year and people still put up with this. And mind you, Caitlin Collins is your superstar.
Caitlin Clark,
Caitlin Collins, whatever, potato. That's how much, Adam.
Well, technically, if you can't do potato in the NBA, then
exactly.
it's a...
But Adam, think about
and she
this.
got you new TV and sponsorship deals, and that money is being used to pay the players, and now you don't need her.
And great point, Tom. Are you ready for this, Adam? They hate her because she's white. She's the nastiest player in the league, and everybody, the coaches, the refs, the players, all hate on her because she's a white star, and she had to bend the knee too. I'm done with the WNBA, bro. I'm tired of it. Is that bad? I'm furious.
wrong?
No, am I wrong?
So where are you at with this?
I'm just, Vinny, I mean this sincerely. Thank you for coming over.
Finally, you got me.
Thank you. Just say out of your
FYI, just so you know, that's not happening. The first team in WNBA just got $1 billion valuation. Their revenue's up to $500 million. They're not profitable yet, so it's not like they're making money now. But Vinny, there is no way this thing's going away because the simple fact that we're talking about it right now means it's relevant.
Nobody expected what happened next. According to the reports, Clark grabbed a clipboard and slammed it against the lockers with incredible force before shouting across the room. She didn't simply defend Sophie Cunningham. She reportedly confronted the WNBA coaching establishment head-on. Insiders claim Clark shouted, "You let them attack her. You let them attack her. You let these coaches cross the line, and you did nothing. She sacrifices everything for this team, and I'm not going to stand by while this league tears her down." Those in the room were reportedly stunned into silence. But Clark wasn't finished. Looking directly at team executives, she allegedly delivered a final warning that quickly became the center of the controversy. According to the claims, the situation escalated even further when reports surfaced less than 24 hours later that Caitlin Clark's legal team had officially become involved, sending the story into overdrive.
People were upset with me, man. They were upset. I was surprised. Some people liked the take. Other people were upset with the take. You know, and listen, Kelsey was hot. I'm not saying that. But it's frustrating to never get the ball when you're open in half court. And I mean never. Venom Reacts noticed it. Man, we got to get you over to the Caitlin Clark zone, Venom. Venom noticed it. He saw it. He always sees it.
Like, look at this, man. They got raped.
Yeah, Venom always does solid breakdowns. Awful coaching-esque breakdowns of these Indiana Fever games. Really exposing some things that we all talk about and exposing things that maybe a lot of us haven't seen. So shout out to Venom as well.
Raven Johnson bringing it up. CC's relegated.
As soon as Raven Johnson was in the game, you knew that it was over.
To the left wing. This is sad. Stephanie White. Like, this is sad, man. Caitlin Clark, like, even look at the way Caitlin Clark walked away from Aaliyah when Aaliyah tried to talk to her. Like, look right here. Look at Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin right here. Aaliyah tries to talk to her, and Caitlin turns to her left side like, girl, stop talking to me right now. Get ass, stop talking to me. I don't want to hear shit you guys say right now. I'm just being honest. Stop talking to me. Like, I like this, though. I like this. Because all the stuff that I'm saying now is starting to come to the light.
Cece, stop being friends. Stop trying to be friends with everybody. Let them know. Let them know we ain't doing this hub BS. You're the hub. You're the engine. You're not wheels. You're not an exhaust. You're not a hubcap. You're not headers. You're not cams. You're none of that. You are the engine. You are the actual engine itself. The V12 of the Indiana Fever, not the hub. Let them know, hey, we're cool, but we ain't that cool. I'm gonna need that rock.
Like, hee hee ha ha, the Fever on the wing game. Wowie.
Caitlin Clark is reportedly considering legal action against opposing WNBA coaches and even the league itself. According to the circulating claims, the case centers on allegations of targeted harassment, a hostile work environment, and emotional distress involving Sophie Cunningham. If true, it would mark an unprecedented development, a young superstar taking legal action against the very league she plays in. The reports also claim Clark's legal representatives sent a cease and desist letter to Seattle's coaching staff and the WNBA commissioner. According to those allegations, the message was direct. Leave Sophie alone, don't target her, don't single her out, and don't try to embarrass her on the court again. The reports further claim Clark warned that If the alleged behavior continued, she would pursue every legal option available and challenge the league's handling of the situation.
Everyone has a hill they're willing to die on. We've talked about this. We all have our hills. The WNBA has basically said, this is the hill we're willing to die on because the L, the G, the B has been grouped in with that T, and they need to basically protect that T. And in the NBA, because I'm the local NBA guru over here, we know. Yeah. You know, they say, you live by the you say you live by the 3 and you die by the 3, right? So the women of the NBA are gonna die on this hill if it's the last thing they do. And they're not double dribbling. They're doubling down on this nonsense. And at this point, I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I'm sitting there eating my popcorn just being like, you have this generational talent, Caitlin Clark, and you're running her out of the league. And you have this beautiful person, Sophie Cunningham, who's basically saying, listen, I'm just a normal person. I'm not political. I just don't want dudes in the locker room with me. And they elbow her in the face and they go, that's a foul on you. Yeah, shut your mouth.
Oh, God.
So I don't believe they're doubling down, Adam, but here's why. You're right, but I disagree on this angle. There's never been DEI that's been a special program brought into the WNBA. Never has. It was the culture from day one. Their culture was this. Well, this was the culture.
I don't mean this disrespectful. They're all lesbians. A lot of them are lesbians.
The point is, DEI was brought into certain companies and they faked it and they put up programs. We have a DEI program. Mm-hmm. They had DEI DNA. This was it since the beginning. And what you are seeing is a culture clash with Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham and organ rejection. The organism.
The WNBA is reportedly facing intense scrutiny as these claims continue to circulate. According to the allegations, the Seattle coaching staff involved could face serious legal and public consequences if any of the reported claims are proven. Supporters also claim league officials are working behind the scenes to manage the growing controversy before it causes further damage to the league's reputation. The story has spread rapidly across social media and sports outlets, dividing fans nationwide. Many supporters have praised Caitlin Clark's reported loyalty to Sophie Cunningham, arguing that standing up for a teammate reflects strong leadership and commitment. Others remain skeptical of the allegations and are waiting for verified facts before drawing conclusions. According to the circulating reports, Clark's supporters believe she holds enormous influence within the league. They argue that if she were ever to take legal action or refuse to play over the dispute, it could significantly affect television ratings, attendance, and the league's overall momentum. Whether those claims ultimately prove accurate remains uncertain, but the controversy has undeniably become one of the most talked about stories in women's basketball.
It was a bigger story than Nolan Wells that Caitlin Clark actually got some calls last game. So I'm sure the officials saw that, and they made sure today that she didn't get any calls and she didn't shoot many free throws. That was the thing today. You refs got to stay off Twitter, man. You're so reactive in this league, man. What a league this is, man. But yeah, this was all game. And I get there at home and I get that, if you call that every time, all Minnesota's guards would file out in the first quarter. But still, to never call it is the opposite way. And I'm not talking about just fouls, I'm talking about to never call this. This is a foul, okay? If that's Olivia Miles, that's a foul. Olivia Miles is a rookie. Hasn't paid her dues. Doesn't have to mention Cheryl Swoops.
That's true. If the roles were reversed, we're calling a foul on this. And I think that's everybody's biggest gripe. If this wasn't called by any across the board, fine. But the fact that it's such a double standard, maybe not double standard, the fact that there's such hypocrisy involved, it's like, all right, well, we're going to call fouls here. No, I think double standard is the right word. The fact that we're going to call fouls when it's Caitlin Clark playing defense, but we're not going to call fouls when they're playing defense like this on Caitlin Clark, well, that's the issue. We need it to be fair across the board.
And all the veterans, Cynthia Cooper and Teresa Weatherspoon, every time she opens her mouth, she's not required to do that. But she hasn't even paid her dues yet in the league yet, and she gets that call.
This is the ultimate showdown, one of the league's biggest stars versus an entire coaching establishment. According to the circulating claims, the controversy has reached a level that has divided fans across the country. Supporters argue Caitlin Clark is standing up for Sophie Cunningham, while critics question whether the allegations justify such a dramatic response. Regardless of where people stand, the debate has become one of the biggest talking points in women's basketball. Now it's your turn. Share your honest opinion in the comments below. Do you believe Caitlin Clark is right to defend her teammate so strongly? Or do you think these reported legal claims could create even bigger problems for the league? Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the asterisk like ask button. Share the video with other basketball fans and subscribe for more WNBA news, analysis, and breaking updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.